In a world where destiny is decided by one ceremony, one quiet kid breaks the system. While everyone else dreams of swords, fireballs, and glory, Lin Moyue awakens something far darker, the forbidden power of a necromancer. The story begins. At Xia Xue school, the principal addresses the student body. After 3 long years of study, their true test is about to begin. This is the moment they've all been waiting for, the awakening ceremony, where their future class and destiny will be revealed. The announcer sets the bar high, hoping these students might one day reach the legendary level of Su Qianqiang. Our protagonist, Lin Moyue, steps into the glowing awakening formation. He seems cool and collected, but what power lies dormant within him? In this world, life is a game. Dungeons and secret realms dot the landscape, offering untold power and horrifying monsters. Warriors constantly battle these horrors, leveling up and honing their skills to survive and grow stronger. The goal is simple: master your skills and enhance your strength to climb the ranks. Awakening can grant one of 3 paths: the mighty combat class, the crucial support class, or the often underestimated lifestyle class. But everyone dreams of awakening a legendary class, a feat not seen in Xihai City for decades. The ceremony begins. One by one, students will step into the formation to discover their fate. His friend Gao Yang is buzzing with excitement, asking Moyue what class he hopes to awaken. But Moyue remains silent. His silence is mistaken for weakness, and the other students start to taunt him, calling him a loner. But Gao Yang quickly steps in to defend his quiet friend, telling the others to back off. Meanwhile, the school elders observe the proceedings, with one expressing his desire for a rare class to finally appear. Moyue's sharp eyes notice something others don't. He recognizes one of the elders as a formation master, an incredibly rare and powerful support class. The announcer's voice booms, calling the first student, Suda, to the awakening formation. A flash of light, and the result is revealed. Shuda has awakened as a farmer, a lifestyle class. His face falls into despair. A farmer, a seemingly useless class in a world built for combat. The crowd murmurs. While not a combat class, even a farmer has the potential to evolve into something greater if he works hard enough. Next up, another student awakens as a chef. But unlike the last guy, he's thrilled to follow in his father's footsteps. The elders sigh in disappointment. So far, the students are so-so, with no rare classes awakened yet. They lament how many years it's been since a truly special talent emerged, hoping for at least an advanced combat class to show up. Then, the announcer calls a new name, one that seems to carry a different weight. Next, Xia Xue. A girl named Xia Xue, known as the school's top student, strides forward with an air of absolute confidence. She shares a history with Moyue, always striving to surpass him, yet he always seemed to be just one step ahead. As she enters the formation, the elders watch with bated breath. Her potential is palpable. Suddenly, a surge of immense energy erupts from the platform. A massive explosion of light and power stuns the onlookers. The elders can't believe their eyes. The results are in. Xia Xue has awakened as an elemental mage, a powerful and extremely rare combat class. The crowd erupts in cheers. An elemental mage can wield forbidden spells capable of destroying entire cities. A true genius has finally appeared. During the school's awakening ceremony, the senior authority recognizes a young student's potential, declaring she has a bright future. This student, Xia Xue, is the school's 2nd-ranked genius, and her classmates eagerly await the results of her awakening. As Xia Xue awakens her power, her eyes glow with a brilliant blue light, signaling the birth of a powerful new warrior. Her awakening is a success, granting her a rare ice-based class that puts her at the top of her peers. But the school's true #1 genius, Lin Moyue, has yet to awaken, and the elders know that academic skill doesn't always translate to power. As Lin Moyue steps up, the elders watch with bated breath, wondering if he too will awaken a rare class. Suddenly, an immense and chaotic energy erupts from Lin Moyue, far surpassing anyone's expectations. The sky itself tears open as a massive vortex of dark clouds and blue lightning forms above the school, a vision so terrifying it leaves everyone speechless. Watching this display, the newly awakened Xia Xue feels a surge of rivalry, refusing to be overshadowed by this unprecedented power. From the vortex, a colossal skeleton emerges, leading a spectral army that descends from the heavens, striking fear into the hearts of all who witness it. Panic erupts as the students realize this isn't just a vision. It's the manifestation of Lin Moyue's awakened class, Xia Xue receives a horrifying vision of this skeletal army and a lone figure standing before a glowing gate, causing her to cry out in despair. As the vision fades, Lin Moyue stands calmly, surrounded by a swirling green aura filled with ghostly skulls. A system window appears, confirming the impossible. He has awakened the unique hidden profession, Necromancer. Lin Moyue declares with absolute confidence that his class is one of a kind. As long as he lives, no one else can ever possess it. The crowd explodes with a mix of shock, envy, and disbelief. A unique hidden profession is a legend made real. Lin Moyue reflects on his new power, realizing his hidden profession is far better than he could have ever imagined. The senior who oversaw the ceremony approaches him, intrigued by this unprecedented event. Despite his newfound power, Lin Moyue shows humility, respectfully bowing, and asking what the elder has to say. Fascinated by a class he's never even heard of, the senior asks for a demonstration of his skills, and Lin Moyue calmly agrees. He pulls up his status window, revealing his first ability, Summon Skeleton Warrior, a skill that requires a corpse to use. With a surge of spiritual energy, Lin Moyue summons his first minion, a skeletal warrior, armed and ready for battle. The crowd screams in terror, recognizing the summon as the same skeleton from the apocalyptic vision in the clouds. Just as quickly, a new prompt appears, giving him the option to sacrifice his newly summoned warrior. Without hesitation, Lin Moyue chooses to sacrifice his minion, causing its form to crack and destabilize. The skeleton warrior dissolves into black particles, and while others shout in alarm, the wise old senior simply watches, understanding the boy's intent. Lin Moyue had a plan all along. Sacrificing the skeleton unlocked a powerful new skill, Corpse Explosion. Impressed by his quick thinking and powerful abilities, the senior gives him his blessing and tells him to go forge his own path. With his new skeleton warrior in tow, Lin Moyue walks away, leaving the stunned and fearful students behind him. Surprisingly, a fellow student eagerly asks to touch the terrifying summon, and with a simple nod, Moyue allows it, unfazed by the attention. His friend can't believe the skeleton's power, but Lin Moyue smirks, knowing this is just a taste of his new abilities. As the awakening ceremony continues, another student, Gao Yang, steps up to receive his new class. Lin Moyue quickly grasps the mechanics of his new ability, a personal summoning space that can hold his minions, ready to be deployed at any time. And just like that, after his first real battle, the sweet sound of a level up echoes in his mind. While his friend awakens as a powerful knight of sword and shield, Lin Moyue's true potential remains hidden, a shadowy necromancer commanding legions of the dead. Lin Moyue playfully trolls his friend, admitting he was just saying the opposite to get a rise out of him. With the awakenings complete, the school principal announces the next challenge, a novice dungeon designed to help the new warriors level up. But a fiery girl named Lin Moyue can't wait, rushing off to the dungeon alone. Lin Moyue explains she's a battle maniac, always eager for a fight. She confronts Lin Moyue directly, her competitive spirit flaring, but he remains completely unfazed by her challenge. She declares that even though he beat her in the awakening, she will never lose to him again. A fierce rivalry is born. Back at his home, Lin Moyue takes a quiet moment to himself, looking at a cherished photo. He reflects on his promise to his family. Remembering the joy of telling his grandma he had awakened a unique, hidden class. His moment of reflection is interrupted by an unexpected visitor at the door. It's Principal Lu, who has personally brought living supplies for him. The principal recalls Lin Moyue's older sister, the prodigy Lin Mohan, the only student from their school last year to be admitted to the elite Shaojing College. He remembers the promise he made to her, to take good care of her little brother, a promise he intends to keep. After dropping off the supplies, the principal reminds him to rest up for the dungeon raid tomorrow. As night falls over the city, Lin Moyue prepares for what's to come. But his night is far from quiet. Suddenly, a mysterious system interface appears, binding to him and granting him an SSS-level talent, Talent Plunder. He immediately tests his new powers, summoning a skeleton warrior. Thanks to his unique class, the summon's attributes are instantly multiplied by 10, giving him an insane power boost right from the start. At the novice dungeon entrance, Gao Yang tries to get his friend's attention, but Lin Moyue is completely absorbed in his own world. Gao Yang finally explodes, furious that Moyue is ditching him to solo the dungeon. But Moyue, ever cool, explains it's for their own good. Suddenly, a classmate backs him up, explaining the common leveling strategy. Soloing is most efficient into level 10, since experience is split when teaming up. The instructor gives a final briefing, warning them about the dungeon's dangers and urging the support classes to find a team. He singles out Xia Xue, the powerful elemental mage aiming for a top academy. As for Lin Moyue, his hidden class is a mystery, making him a risky but potentially rewarding partner. While other students tremble in fear of the undead monsters within, Lin Moyue stands apart, his resolve unshaken. He's ready to face this challenge alone. The instructor lays down the harsh reality. Getting into Xia Jing Academy requires reaching at least level 12, even mentioning Moyue's own sister got in at level 16. He scoffs at their optimism, warning them that reaching level 12 in just 1 week is no small feat, and the grind only gets tougher. But Lin Moyue, unfazed, simply declares his confidence. This catches the instructor off guard, who now wonders if Moyue's hidden class is the key to achieving the impossible. Just then, his old rival Xia Xue throws down the gauntlet, challenging him to a leveling race. The competition is on. Without a word, Moyue steps into the swirling vortex of the novice dungeon. Alone in the darkness, he immediately begins to test his powers. With eyes glowing crimson, he unleashes his army of the dead. His skeleton warriors, led by a formidable reaper, tear through the dungeon's inhabitants. The results are instantaneous. Experience points flood his screen, and in a flash of light, he's already hit level 2. Even Moyue is shocked by the insane efficiency of his Necromancer class. He wastes no time, immediately summoning more powerful level 2 undead knights. His new Black Iron skeleton warriors boast significantly higher stats. As his skeletons auto-farm the area, Moyue discovers a new tracking function and realizes his minions missed a few stragglers, spotting a shadowy creature lurking in the dark. He tests his direct damage skill, Soul Blaze, obliterating the creature instantly. The kill triggers another level up, and his stats continue to skyrocket. Realizing the potential of his class, Moyue decides to go all out, summoning his entire Legion of the Dead to clear the dungeon at maximum speed. The slaughter is relentless. A stream of notifications confirms his progress as he eliminates monster after monster, from level 4 rats to level 6 leopards. Just 4 hours in, he's already level 4. At this pace, he calculates he'll hit level 5 in under an hour and sets an ambitious new goal: reach level 10 before the day is out. Meanwhile, back at the school, a distinguished guest arrives. It's Xia Dongyang, the head of the powerful Xia family and Xia Xue's father, here to see the principal. The principal praises Xia Xue's talent, proudly announcing her awakening as a rare elemental mage. Her father can only express his regret for missing such a momentous occasion. Elsewhere, an instructor reflects on Xia Xue's fierce ambition, wondering if she has what it takes to surpass the school's legendary alumni. The pressure is immense. The instructors know that if Xia Xue fails to reach level 5 on her first day, her reputation as a top prodigy will take a serious hit. Back at the dungeon, other students are feeling the pressure of the 12-hour time limit, knowing a 1-hour countdown will mark their final chance to level up. Their conversation shifts. The principal asks about the other hidden profession from the ceremony. The instructor confirms it was Lin Moyue, but notes the boy chose to go in alone. Deep inside the dungeon, Lin Moyue surveys his ever-growing army. Surrounded by his undead legion, he's already plotting how to accelerate his leveling speed even further. His minions effortlessly mow down level 7 and 8 monsters. But for Moyue, the lack of any real challenge is starting to become boring. He casually walks past a party of struggling players who can only watch in disbelief as this lone warrior and his army leave them in the dust. But then, something catches his attention, a sudden presence that sends a jolt of surprise through him. What could it be? A new notification pops up, revealing a passive skill he never knew he had: damage transfer. An intense aura erupts from his body as he realizes what this means. After clearing out the small fry, Lin Moyue finally finds a worthy opponent, a level 8 bullwhip tree. With his skeleton warriors, stats boosted to 275, he's eager to test their might against the novice dungeon's strongest monster. He unleashes his minion, which lunges forward with a devastating slash. But the attack is easily dodged. The bullwhip tree's speed is far beyond what he expected for a level 8 monster. Worse, a system notification reveals his skeletons have been struck by a corrosion debuff, their armor melting away. But Lin Moyue just smirks. A simple debuff isn't enough to stop his undead army. And just like that, the dungeon is cleared. Moyue gains a massive XP boost and hits level 7, But outside, mysterious figures have been watching his every move. As he emerges, he's immediately confronted. But Moyue remains unfazed, simply stating he was just leveling up. His mentor is speechless. Reaching level 7 in just 10 hours is unheard of. But for Lin Moyue, it was too slow, complaining there weren't enough monsters to kill. Moyue is genuinely surprised. He had no idea that necromancers were known for their painfully slow leveling speed. Impressed by his potential, Mentor Lu agrees to grant him a traveling certificate, allowing him to venture into more dangerous areas. Later, the other mentors are baffled. Why was one student allowed to leave the novice dungeon so early? And Mentor Lu drops a bombshell. That student was Lin Moyue. He single-handedly slaughtered every level 8 monster in the dungeon. They're in disbelief. A necromancer, a class notorious for its slow leveling, clearing a dungeon at record speed? It's a hidden profession, far more powerful than they ever imagined. They agree Moyue's future is limitless, but worry about how the school's top student, Xia Xue, will react to being so thoroughly outclassed. But Mentor Lu just laughs. He reveals he was the one who personally approved Moyue's class change, leaving his colleague utterly stunned. Meanwhile, Moyue reflects on his progress. At level 7, he can finally summon a skeleton mage, but he needs a new, more challenging leveling spot. Speaking of Xia Xue, she emerges from her own dungeon run, confident in her performance, until she sees the updated rankings. Lin Moyue. Level 7. The numbers don't lie. She can't comprehend how her former rival has surpassed her so completely. Just as her world shatters, her father arrives, worried about her. In the car, her father asks if she's still competing with Moyue. Overwhelmed but defiant, she refuses his help, determined to win on her own. But her determination crumbles when her father reveals the truth. Lin Moyue cleared the dungeon in 10 hours and has already left for a higher level zone. Elsewhere, his friend Gao Yang catches up to him, begging to be taken along on his next adventure. He'll do anything to party up with the new boss. Moyue agrees, and Gao Yang is ecstatic. He promises to meet him at the school entrance first thing in the morning. The next day, but when Gao Yang arrives, Moyue is nowhere in sight. Mentor Lu informs him that he already left for the Shihai suburbia. Gao Yang explodes in rage. Lin Moyue, you fooled me. He vows to catch up no matter what it takes. Meanwhile, Lin Moyue has already arrived at the Shihai City Profession Hall, ready to take on his next challenge. Accessing the mission board, he starts searching for a quest worthy of his new power. He skims past the basic collection quests and sets his sights on a true challenge, a level 14 domain raid on Nightmare difficulty, the only way to get the King Goblin's core. Lin Moyue has chosen his path, and it's the one labeled Hell difficulty. While others would tremble, he simply accepts the overwhelming odds. Even the city guard is stunned. A rare necromancer, just level 10, willingly walking into a dungeon known for certain death? He must be insane. With his travel papers in hand, Moyue receives one last warning. The world outside the city walls is a graveyard for the unprepared. This is the line between civilization and savagery. Behind him, safety. Ahead, a desolate wasteland where only the strong survive. He's barely taken a step into the wild when the first sign of danger makes its presence known. And just like that, he's greeted by a local resident, a massive horned monster that was perfectly camouflaged among the rocks. But Lin Moyue isn't fazed. With a simple command, he calls forth his own brand of welcome party. The system identifies the threat, a level 10 goblin. But for Moyue's skeleton warrior, with stats almost triple the goblin's, this is just target practice. His black iron skeleton warrior engages a blur of bone and steel. The goblin doesn't stand a chance as Moyue calmly observes the one-sided beatdown. The goblin, which thought it was the predator, now knows true fear as the skeletal horror bears down on it. As notifications of easy kills flood his vision, Moyue's mind isn't on the battle. He's thinking about a promise he made to his sister. He remembers his sister, the prodigy, the one who effortlessly claimed the top spot and entered the most prestigious academy in the empire. In a cherished memory, he recalls his promise. Not just to follow in her footsteps, but to carve his own path to Shajing Academy. The slaughter is paid off. Moyue hits level 10, his stats soaring and his summoning capacity doubling to an army of 40 skeleton warriors. But that's not all. His skill evolves, allowing him to summon a bronze skeleton warrior, a new tier of undead soldier with vastly superior power. With his new bronze warrior, Moyue feels unstoppable, until he realizes he has absolutely no idea where he's going. the dungeon entrance is nowhere in sight. His moment of confusion is cut short by a blinding flash and a sudden sharp impact. He's ambushed. Glowing arrows pierce his back, but something strange happens. His passive skill damage transfer kicks in. Instead of Moyue taking the hit, the damage is redirected, sacrificing one of his loyal skeletons in his place. He turns to face his attacker, a mysterious, masked archer with piercing red eyes. But this isn't a monster. While the archer makes a run for it, Moyue casually inspects the arrow lodged in his chest, completely unfazed by what should have been a fatal blow. Suddenly, more figures appear on the horizon. They're not monsters either, they're players, and they seem to know the archer. As the newcomers approach their fallen companion, Moyue finishes pulling the arrow from his chest, the wound already closing. He is not happy. The party is in a panic, searching for a corpse-eating wolf, completely oblivious to the far greater threat they just provoked. But Moyue isn't interested in their problems. He has a simple, chilling demand. Your arrow hit me. Apologize. The archer apologizes, shocked that his attack did absolutely nothing to the kid he was targeting. But their shock turns to horror as Lin Moyue reveals his true power, summoning a hulking skeleton warrior right before their eyes. The group's leader is disgusted. To him, summoning the undead is a vile and unforgivable act. He declares that anyone who dabbles in necromancy is a disgrace to all professionals, a stain on their honor. But Lin Moyue remains unfazed. As the group leaves with a final warning, he silently marks them, thinking, if you mess with me again, you'll pay with your lives. Back in the novice dungeon, Lin Moyue's skeletons make quick work of the goblins, but the experience gain is painfully slow. He's in a race against time. He must reach level 15 to get into Xiajing Academy for his sister's sake. The memory of his sister being forcibly taken away by the academy fuels his desperate grind. He calculates his progress, realizing that even at this frantic pace, reaching level 15 in 2 days seems almost impossible. He recalls the hell-level dungeon that injured his sister, a memory that still haunts him. He's starting to suspect it was no accident. Lost in thought, he's unaware of the new presence until a massive foot slams down nearby. It seems he's not the only one hunting in these woods tonight. He eyes the newcomers, wondering if they're fellow leveling professionals or just some poor souls who've gotten lost. The group is led by a towering figure, but it's the girl beside him that catches Lin Moyue's eye. He recognizes her. She removes her mask, revealing a warm, familiar smile. It's been a while, Lin Moyue, but her first priority isn't talking, it's food. She devours the rations he offers as if she hasn't eaten in days. In her haste, she starts choking, forcing Lin Moyue to quickly hand her some water. After catching her breath, she finally introduces herself. Her name is Ning Yi. Lin Moyue remains silent, cautiously observing this strange and energetic girl who appeared out of nowhere. Tired of the silence, Ning Yi makes a bold proposal, a friendly competition to analyze each other's skills. She activates her analytic skill, a rainbow light extending from her finger towards an orb in his hand. But the result is a failure. As Lin Moyue stares in shock, Ning Yi just smirks, completely unsurprised. Now it's his turn. With a simple touch, he bypasses her defenses, instantly revealing her name, level, and class. She can't believe he could see through her. The truth dawns on her. His Necromancer class isn't just for show. It's powerful enough to ignore her prized blocking abilities. Flustered, she asks why he's so quiet. His simple, one-word reply only adds to the mystery. But a single word sends her into a fit of joy, completely baffling the stoic Necromancer. She proudly explains her blocking badge, an item that should make her invisible to anyone not 10 levels higher. So how did he do it? He analyzes her again, but this time, he sees something more. A hidden stat called Divinity. He realizes Ning Yi is far from an ordinary professional. Meanwhile, Lin Moyue's skeletons have already scouted the area, marking multiple hostiles on his internal map. The enemy party smirks, thinking they're about to ambush a lone target, completely unaware that the Necromancer already knows their every move. Ning Yi vents her frustration. They've been hunting her for days, all for a single mid-rank skill scripture. Lin Moyue parts ways with his companion, but as he leaves, she prepares for the inevitable battle, her eyes glowing as a dark power manifests in her hand. Suddenly, a powerful blast erupts from the enemy ranks, and a sinister red marking symbol locks onto the duo, signaling that they've been targeted. She instantly recognizes the danger. It's a marking arrow, a specialized skill designed to hunt down its target, making escape impossible. Lin Moyue, however, remains calm, quickly deducing the arrow's true purpose, an anti-invisibility skill, the perfect counter for an assassin. Their pursuers close in, confident their prey is cornered. Lin Moyue realizes these hunters came fully prepared for this confrontation. Surrounded in the dark forest, the situation looks grim. But when the hunters tell him there's nowhere to run, Lin Moyue simply asks, "Running? Why would we?" Desperate to protect him, his companion tries to bargain. She offers up a valuable skill scripture, pleading for them to let Lin Moyue go free. But their leader only grins with malice. He scoffs at her offer, deciding it's far safer for his crew to just kill them both. Realizing negotiation has failed, she tells Lin Moyue to run, preparing to sacrifice herself. She believes his low level makes him a liability she can't drag down with her. He questions if she can handle it alone. She boasts about her escape skills, but with the marking arrow active, there is no escape this time. Tired of the chatter, the enemy leader gives the final order. "No more talk! Get her!" One of the hunters, radiating with power, declares his intent. He doesn't just want her dead, he wants the seemingly weak boy dead too. He unleashes a brilliant illumination skill, flooding the dark forest with blinding light to expose his targets. But this isn't just for visibility. This skill purges all darkness, completely nullifying any invisibility abilities. He declares the assassin is now as good as dead. With her stealth neutralized, she knows this is her last stand. Stealing her resolve, she prepares to give it everything she's got. The enemy squad launches a perfectly coordinated assault. An archer, a tank, and a mage all unleash their skills at once. From the shadows, another archer takes aim, locking on to this seemingly helpless duo and letting his arrows fly. But they've made a fatal miscalculation. Lin Moyue calmly extends his hand, and from a vortex of dark energy, a skeletal warrior emerges. The Necromancer finally reveals his power. The enemy leader scoffs in disgust, calling the undying summons a cheap tactic. He has no idea what he's truly up against. A mage unleashes a massive fireball, challenging the durability of the new creation, but the summoner himself remains utterly unfazed. In a flash, Lin Moyue pulls his stunned companion out of the blast's path, effortlessly saving the one who was just trying to save him. She looks down in shock, noticing strange ethereal strings of energy wrapping around her, a mysterious power she doesn't recognize. Just then, the archer unleashes his ultimate skill, a triple shot with triple the damage, flying straight for them. But before the arrows can find their mark, a blur of white intercepts the attack. One of the skeletons has moved to defend her. She watches in utter disbelief as Lin Moyue's skeletal army effortlessly engages her attackers, fighting her battle for her. More of his power manifests. A spectral blade erupts from a glowing skull as a massive shadowy entity looms over the battlefield. The enemy mage, enraged, unleashes another devastating explosion, hoping to incinerate the undead horde. But his attacks are futile. The skeletal warriors are relentless, easily parrying incoming arrows, and clashing with the enemy's frontline tank, matching them blow for blow. The hunters, once so confident, are now locked in a desperate struggle against an unkillable army that appeared out of nowhere. The leader of the ambush party is in utter disbelief. His analysis skill confirms his target is just a level 10 Necromancer. His subordinate, a powerful level 21 mage, is paralyzed with fear. He can't comprehend why his attacks failed against a mere level 10. The rest of the team is in shock. Their coordinated assault from a level 20 mage and archer had absolutely no effect. One by one, the elite squad is picked apart, not by the Necromancer himself, but by his seemingly endless army of the dead. An ethereal legion of glowing skeletons swarms the battlefield. The squad's analyst is having a mental breakdown. These aren't the weak skeletons from the textbooks. They're an unstoppable force, shrugging off high-level skills. It's not just their impossible strength that's terrifying, it's their sheer, overwhelming numbers. As the last surviving member braces for the end, a calm presence appears behind her. It's Lin Moyue, the architect of her squad's demise. Lin Moyue's eyes glow with power. The secret to his strength lies not in his level, but in his unique talent, skill enhancement, turning his humble summons into an elite legion of death. The adventuring party's mage throws up a desperate barrier, but a skeletal warrior and a horned brute are already lunging in for the kill. But the barrier instantly cracks under a monstrous punch. The party's support looks on in horror as their last line of defense shatters. With the barrier gone, chaos erupts. The mage is forced into a desperate melee, his staff the only thing between him and a swarm of shadowy enemies. He channels every last drop of his power into the staff, his face contorted in agony as he prepares to unleash a final, devastating attack. But their assault is cut short by a new threat from above. Level 15 skeleton warriors? The surviving party members can only stare in disbelief. In a flash of crimson light, the battlefield is cleared. The warriors are cut down before they can even react. An archer, boasting an agility of 1500, is frozen in terror. Instant kill? But my agility! He can't comprehend the speed of his new foe. The last survivor runs for his life, but the glowing eyes of the skeletal horror are closing in fast. The party's knight desperately blocks the onslaught, his shield barely holding. But Lin Moyue, watching from the shadows, notices something strange. The knight activates his core skill, becoming a temporary bastion of defense. But it's too late for his terrified companion, who's already regretting his greed. As the adventurers meet their end, Lin Moyue finally makes his move. With a flick of his wrist, he summons his own Legion of the Dead. The knight is at his limit, and to his horror, he realizes these skeletons aren't just mindless puppets. They can use skills too? His defense finally crumbles, and the knight can only scream as the undead horde closes in for the final blow. A voice from his past echoes in Lin Moyue's mind, a reminder of a promise made. If you set your mind to it, never hesitate. In the aftermath, his new companion Ning Yi is stunned. They're all dead? Lin Moyue wiped out the entire party without even breaking a sweat. With the area secured, Lin Moyue surveys his prize. When a professional dies, all their gear drops. It's time to collect the spoils. Ning Yi recognizes the gear immediately. These are the weapons from that party just now. Lin Moyue scoffs at the loot, deeming it vendor trash. He casually pockets it, unaware his companion is quietly impressed by his pragmatism. But among the junk, Ning Yi finds a treasure, a primary skill scroll worth a fortune. She urges him to use it, gambling on learning a new ability. Moyue considers selling it, but Yi is appalled. You'd sell it for money? Her casual dismissal of 10,000 gold makes him realize her background is anything but ordinary. She gives him the simple instructions. Just hold the scroll and say the word. Use. Moment of awkward silence passes, and Ning Yi looks at him, flustered. She breaks into a playful grin. Ah yeah, you said it too softly. You need to say it louder for it to work. Lin Moyue ignores her teasing, already deducing the scroll's true activation method. It's not about volume. It requires an injection of spiritual energy. He channels his power, and the scroll erupts in a brilliant golden light. Ning Yi can only stare, dumbfounded. He's injecting spiritual energy directly? The scroll grants him the perfect skill, Corpse Explosion, and with his unique Necromancer talent, he knows he can elevate this ability to a whole new level. The skill's potential is terrifying, a violent detonation of death and decay that rips through enemies with overwhelming force. As the light fades, Lin Moyue feels a new power settle within him, divinity. Intrigued, Ning Yi asks, "So? What skill did you get?" Changing the subject, she compliments his voice, finding it a pity he's so quiet. Lin Moyue observes her, thinking to himself, "This girl, she's different." He returns the compliment, "You have a nice voice too." She beams with confidence. "Of course, I am Ning Yi, after all." The mysterious girl, grateful for being saved, offers Moyue a gift. "As repayment for saving me, I'll give you this." The gift is no small trinket. It's an intermediate skill scroll, an incredibly rare item worth a staggering 1 million. Resting by the fire, she begins to recount the perilous tale of how she acquired such a treasure. She explains that after finding the scroll, she was ambushed and relentlessly pursued for a full day and night by thieves trying to steal her prize. Moyue expresses his concern, but she reveals a life-saving secret, a passive skill that teleports her away from fatal blows. Despite her safety net, she confesses her fear of pain, but Moyue's analytic skill reveals something more, a hidden divinity stat, hinting at a power far greater than she lets on. She offers him the priceless scroll, but on one condition: she's starving. Moyue immediately agrees, offering all his food for the trade. As they share a meal, she introduces herself as Ning Yi and questions Moyue's prospects. Doubting a student from Shihai First School can make it far, but then it hits her. This is no ordinary student. She recalls witnessing him single-handedly eliminate 2 level 20 professionals with ease. Recognizing his immense potential, Ning Yi urges him to aim higher. "You should go to Xiajing Academy." She explains that at the prestigious academy, points are currency, and it even houses the legendary Creation Seminary, where one can forge their own destiny. The next morning, Moyue awakens to a massive 5,000 express boost from meditation, while Ning Yi awakens with a familiar, rumbling hunger. "Not enough. Give me more," she demands, playfully insisting that, as the big man, he should be generous and hand over all his provisions. With a look of resignation, Moyue admits he's completely out of food. Seeing his expression, she finally relents with an amused smile. Their time together comes to an end. "I'll be going now to raise my level 2, she says. "Let's work hard. I'll see you at Xiajing Academy." As she disappears into the forest, her final words echo, promising a future reunion. Let's level up together next time. With their encounter over, the memory of his own power lingers, a swift, decisive strike that left his enemies defeated on the cold ground. And with the new skill learned from the battlefield, Lin Moyue unleashes a devastating corpse explosion. The blast obliterates everything in its path, a terrifying display of the Necromancer's true power. But for Lin Moyue, this is just another step. He coolly assesses the aftermath, his power growing with every fallen foe. While others would be terrified by such destruction, Lin Moyue stands unfazed, a silent storm in the eye of the hurricane he created. But even his power has limits. Upgrading his skeletons to bronze rank has drastically increased their summoning cost, forcing him to be strategic with his limited spirit points. However, his true strength lies in his unique talent, a summoning space that lets him command a massive army. He's already amassed 48 warriors, with room for more. With his army ready, Lin Moyue arrives at the entrance of the novice dungeon, prepared to put his new power to the test. The area is crowded with adventurers desperately trying to form parties, seeking healers and tanks for the normal difficulty dungeon. Noticing him standing alone, a friendly party approaches, hoping to recruit a powerful-looking newcomer. But Lin Moyue has no interest in normal mode. He knows that nightmare difficulty, while perilous, offers rewards 10 times greater. His unusual presence catches the eye of a girl named Ning Yi, whose analytic skill reveals something extraordinary about him. But what she sees isn't a simple summoner. Her skill shows a terrifying, skeletal figure shrouded in death, the grim truth of his Necromancer class. Unaware of the dark power they're dealing with, the group's leader makes his offer, promising a fair share of the loot. Lin Moyue's response is short and simple: no thanks. He turns his back on them, his goal singular. The system asks for final confirmation to enter the Nightmare Dungeon alone. Without a moment's hesitation, he confirms. The onlookers are left in stunned silence. No one has ever dared to solo the Nightmare Dungeon before. They write him off as an arrogant fool, certain he's walking to his death, and decide to wait and see if he even comes out alive. Inside the Shihai mining dungeon, Lin Moyue finds himself on a temporary safety platform, but the protection is brief and danger already lurks in the shadows. His first target, a level 14 Goblin Mine Guard. It's an enhanced elite monster with stats far beyond anything a novice should face. These enhanced elites are tough, but Lin Moyue has just the tool for the job, Soul Flame. But compared to his own bronze-level skeletons, these dungeon mobs are nothing more than cannon fodder. His warrior cuts through the goblin with ease, proving that the gap in power is simply too vast. This system confirms the kill, and the reward is staggering: 4,200 experience. That's 10 times the normal amount, proving that Nightmare Mode was the right choice. With rewards like this, there's no time to waste. Lin Moyue dives deeper into the mine, ready for a massacre. One after another, the goblins fall, and the experience pours in. Within minutes, Lin Moyue feels a surge of power as he levels up. In just 5 minutes, he's already reached level 11. This leveling speed is unheard of, a feat made possible only by his necromancy. Leveling up also strengthens his skills. He now has damage transfer, making him practically invincible as long as his summons stand. And his skeleton warriors have evolved into bronze-level powerhouses, their stats skyrocketing and granting them the new skill, Rage Strike. Lin Moyue is baffled. After that intense battle, all his skills leveled up, except for the brand new one, Corpse Explosion. Just as he's pondering this mystery, a new system notification pops up. His unique talent has been activated, hinting at a power far beyond his understanding. Suddenly, A deafening roar shakes the entire dungeon. Lin Moyue is put on high alert. Something powerful has just announced its presence. And there it is, the Mind Wolf King, a level 14 boss with intimidating stats. This isn't just another mob. He quickly realizes the dungeon's difficulty has spiked. Even a mid-boss has stats that rival the final bosses of other dungeons. The Wolf King isn't just a brute, it's intelligent. It scoffs at Lin Moyue, believing his one-man army is no match for what's coming. The Wolf King boasts about its army, but Lin Moyue just smirks. It's time to see whose legion is truly superior. The battle erupts as the Wolf King unleashes a sonic howl, aiming to shatter Lin Moyue's entire skeletal vanguard in a single blow. But these are no ordinary skeletons. Following their master's command, they activate their razor-sharp skill, turning their blades into deadly instruments. The Wolf King's arrogance fades as it swarmed. The skeletons, far from shattering, relentlessly pierce its hide, turning the hunter into the hunted. Enraged and wounded, the Wolf King lets out a desperate roar, unleashing a wave of furious energy. But it's not an attack, it's a retreat. Lin Moyue is stunned. He's never seen a dungeon boss turn tail and run for its life. But it wasn't fleeing to escape, it was calling for backup. From the shadows, hundreds of glowing red eyes emerge. The entire wolf pack has arrived. The Wolf King now stands before its massive army of mining wolves, confident that sheer numbers will overwhelm the lone Necromancer. But this is exactly what Lin Moyue was hoping for. He wasn't worried about the numbers. He was worried he wouldn't have enough corpses to fuel his new skill. With a confident smirk, he begins the harvest. The smaller wolves are nothing more than experience points and fuel for the main event. As the bodies pile up, Lin Moyue channels his power, preparing to unleash the very skill that started all this: corpse explosion. The resulting chain reaction is catastrophic. The entire wolf pack is annihilated in a single, massive explosion of necrotic energy. In an instant, the battlefield is cleared, leaving only a stunned and furious Wolf King. Lin Moyue's experience bar skyrockets, proving his strategy was a resounding success. With its army gone, the Wolf King is swiftly dealt with. Lin Moyue reflects on his power. Clearing an abyssal-level dungeon in under 10 minutes is an unprecedented feat. But the Wolf King was just a gatekeeper. Now Lin Moyue presses on towards the true final boss of this high-difficulty dungeon. He's already thinking bigger. Abyssal difficulty is efficient, but to level up even faster, he'll need to start soloing hell-level dungeons. His leveling speed is insane. At this rate, he calculates he can hit level 19 before the day is over. Finally, he reaches the heart of the dungeon and confronts the final boss, the level 16 Goblin King. He strikes, but his damage is mysteriously redirected. The Goblin King has a powerful defensive skill: damage transfer. The damage meant for the boss is being reflected onto his own skeletons, instantly destroying 2 of them. He quickly realizes the Goblin King isn't damaging his skeletons directly. Every attack he lands on the boss sacrifices one of his own minions. This exposes a critical weakness. The real bottleneck is his own low constitution. One solid hit on him could wipe out his entire army. The stat difference is massive. The Goblin King's immense power means any reflected damage is enough to one-shot his skeletons, forcing Lin Moyue to rethink his strategy. A beast that could wipe out an entire party of adventurers is nothing more than a stepping stone for Lin Moyue. With a single, overwhelming summon, he demonstrates the terrifying power of a true Necromancer. Inside the Nightmare Dungeon, Lin Moyue faces the final boss, the Goblin King. But the King's skeleton army is no match for the Necromancer, who unleashes a devastating shockwave that shatters the battlefield. The Goblin King retaliates with a powerful fire breath, engulfing the chamber in flames. Lin Moyue feels his spiritual power dwindling, and knows he has to end this fight quickly. He counters the inferno with his own soul flame, a torrent of green, spectral energy that clashes with the boss's attack in a brilliant explosion of power. With his spirit nearly depleted, Lin Moyue knows it's now or never. He channels the last of his energy into one final, decisive strike. His attack, a flurry of bone-piercing strikes, finds its mark. The Goblin King lets out a final, agonized roar as its life force fades. Victory! Lin Moyue is flooded with notifications, a massive experience boost, and a horde of bronze-level loot, including a rare primary skill scroll. He equips his new Wisdom Robe. While the cooldown reduction is useless for his unique skills, the 10-point boost to his spirit and physique is a welcome upgrade. He examines the Goblin King's core, a valuable drop worth 10,000 credits. For a novice dungeon, the rewards are surprisingly lucrative. Thanks to leveling up, his spirit is fully replenished. he can once again summon a full squad of 4 skeleton warriors, now stronger than ever at level 12. As Lin Moyue exits the dungeon, the other adventurers are left in stunned silence. They can't believe a single person cleared the Nightmare difficulty dungeon all by himself. Hunting mobs in the wild yields pitiful experience. To reach his goal of entering Shajing Academy, Lin Moyue decides the only path is to grind the dungeon again after its 12-hour cooldown. While waiting, he studies the primary skill scroll he acquired. It grants him a devastating new ability, Corpse Explosion, turning his fallen enemies into living bombs. 12 hours pass in quiet meditation. Having mastered the principles of his new skill, Lin Moyue is ready to conquer the dungeon once more. But upon returning to the dungeon entrance, he finds it's already occupied by another group of adventurers. The atmosphere is tense. It quickly becomes clear that these aren't just other players. They're blocking the entrance, preventing anyone from going inside. An adventurer confronts the group. Furious, the powerful Dynasty Guild has claimed the dungeon for themselves, barring all others from entry. Another challenger steps up, accusing the guild of abusing their power. But the guild member scoffs, boasting that their leader is about to set a new clear time record. In a flash of light, the defiant adventurer is sent flying, silenced by a single brutal attack from the guild. The man lies dead on the ground. The guild members show no remorse, their callous actions shocking the crowd into horrified silence. The guild leader smirks. So what if we kill a useless man? If you have the guts, come take revenge. Their arrogance knows no bounds. Lin Moyue's new companions are terrified, but he remains completely unfazed. He has one simple goal: enter the dungeon. His companion, seeing an opportunity, tries to sell him the Goblin King's core, mentioning its market price of 50,000 credits. When asked its purpose, he explains the core can be crafted into the Goblin King's ring, the strongest accessory available, boosting all attributes and skill levels. Despite the ring's incredible power, Lin Moyue's focus is elsewhere. He has a more immediate problem to deal with. Ignoring his companion's frantic warnings, Lin Moyue calmly walks toward the guild. "They are in my way of leveling up," he states simply. The Dynasty Guild members notice him approaching. "Look at this trio," one sneers. "Do they actually think they can challenge us?" Flanked by his imposing skeleton warrior, Lin Moyue's expression is one of pure annoyance. "I'm in a hurry," he says, his patience wearing thin. A guild member unleashes a powerful attack to intimidate him, but Lin Moyue doesn't even flinch, standing calmly with his hands in his pockets. His eyes flare with a menacing green light. With chilling authority, he utters 2 simple words: "Get lost." The guild member scoffs, seeing only a level 12 Necromancer, but as a powerful aura erupts around Lin Moyue, he asks a chilling question: "Are you ready to die?" As the elite squad closes in, one of them tries to warn her comrade, telling him not to be reckless against such overwhelming numbers. But the hunter's bravado evaporates, replaced by a chilling fear as he feels an immense, suffocating pressure. He finally realizes what he's up against: a Necromancer. The squad's leader, enraged by the defiance, launches a furious attack. But Lin Moyue remains unfazed, promising to show them what it truly means to be hunted. With a burst of spiritual power, Lin Moyue activates his skill, ready to turn the tables on his pursuers. The members of the Dynasty Guild, confident in their numbers and strength, prepare to crush this lone challenger. Their level 25 mage, Zhao Ji, scoffs at the very idea of a threat, certain his shield can withstand anything this. Level 12 nobody can throw at him. His arrogance shatters in an instant. A single strike from Lin Moyue's summon cracks his impenetrable shield, leaving the mage in utter disbelief at its raw power. He knows with dawning horror that his shield, his ultimate defense, can only withstand one more hit, but he won't get the chance. The skeleton warrior unleashes a devastating rage strike, and the mage's confidence turns to pure terror as he faces his end. One of his guildmates retaliates, unleashing a powerful shockwave to push back the assault. The man barely survives, but there's no time for relief. His commander screams at him to get back in the fight. Fueled by fury, another guild member unleashes his own attack, vowing to destroy Lin Moyue and his disgusting summons. But his attack is met and overpowered. The knight can't believe it. He's a high-ranking player, yet he's being completely overwhelmed. The Dynasty Guild's archers take aim, issuing a final threat. To challenge their guild is to choose death. A volley of explosive arrows rains down, but Lin Moyue effortlessly dodges the barrage, moving like a phantom on the battlefield. Amidst the chaos, Lin Moyue stands perfectly calm, the quiet master of the two spectral warriors wreaking havoc on his enemies. The tide of battle has completely turned, and the Dynasty Guild members can only watch in shock as their comrades fall one by one. The guild leader finally understands the terrifying truth. This isn't just one summoned creature, he can summon more. Panic sets in. The once confident warriors are now desperately calling out, trying to form a defense against the unstoppable undead. In a last-ditch effort, their mage unleashes his ultimate skill, the Fire Serpent Dance, a spell powerful enough to incinerate anything in its path. The caster smirks, convinced his spell will end this, but through the flames, Lin Moyue emerges, completely untouched. A massive explosion erupts, but it's not from the Fire Serpent. It's Lin Moyue's own power, Corpse Explosion, turning their fallen allies into bombs. The battlefield becomes a vision of hell. The surviving Dynasty Guild members are consumed by explosions and swarmed by the dead, their confident hunt having turned into their own personal nightmare. With their stats enhanced and buffs active, the guild leader spearheads the assault, diving headfirst into the fray. He roars for his supports to cast their blessings, coordinating a flawless attack with his elite team. But a new voice cuts through the chaos, ordering everyone to be on guard. The team's mage channels his power, while the archer, now fully charged, declares he's ready to fire. In an instant, healing light from multiple supports envelops the archer, restoring his strength for the next volley. The sheer speed of their healing impresses the guild leader, but another team member looks on in shock, realizing something is terribly wrong. A split second later, that shock turns to disbelief as the guild leader himself screams out, "What?" Because a lone figure, cloaked in darkness and followed by an army of shadows, has just entered the battlefield. These shadowy monstrosities seem endless, swarming towards the guild's front line. The guild's main tank struggles to hold his ground, his shield cracking under the immense pressure as he screams that he can't hold on. Even the shadow creatures cry out in agony, pushed to their limit by the guild's desperate counterattack. Panic sets in as a guild member frantically calls for support, begging for healers to save their tank, but it's too late. The tank is overwhelmed, his defenses shattered, as mysterious red energy tears him apart. The guild's formation breaks and a single, desperate command echoes through the chaos. Run! But there is no escape. The guild leader can only watch in horror as a shadowy hand reaches for him. With the target eliminated, Lin Moyue's Reaper stands triumphant, its mission complete. But Lin Moyue isn't finished. He activates his next skill, Corpse Explosion, enhanced to deal 100% of the target's maximum health as true damage. Even a knight, one of the tankiest classes, stands no chance against an attack that deals 100% of their max HP as pure damage. The explosion engulfs the remaining guild members, their screams lost in the inferno. They are utterly annihilated, their bodies disintegrating in the blast. The guild leader's final moments are filled with despair as the explosion consumes him completely. A few minutes later, Lin Moyue stands alone amidst the devastation, the only price for his overwhelming victory a slight nosebleed. The backlash from unleashing such a powerful, enhanced skill is minimal, a small price for wiping out an entire elite guild. Observing the aftermath, the remaining adventurers are speechless. Not a single body remains. It was complete and utter annihilation. Panic spreads among the survivors. They know the powerful Dynasty Guild won't let the slaughter of their members go unpunished. Fearful of being caught in the crossfire, some suggest abandoning the dungeon entirely, but the others know it's already too late. Meanwhile, another party emerges from the dungeon, frustrated. Despite their efforts, they failed to secure the Goblin King's core, but their frustration quickly turns to alarm. The guild leader looks around, only to find that his entire team has vanished without a trace. He tries to send a message, wondering if his strongest subordinate, Zhao Ji, simply abandoned them, but he knows something is deeply wrong. For Zhao Ji to be killed without leaving any trace of a battle, it seems impossible. Deep within the secret realm, the elite squad navigates a treacherous, ruined landscape, wary of the unknown energies pulsing around them. Meanwhile, in a different battlefield, Lin Moyue unleashes his undead legion, overwhelming the dungeon's monstrous inhabitants. The Goblin King falls, dropping a bronze weapon. But Moyue notes the lack of a boss core, already planning his path to Xiajing Academy. Level 13. But the grind is slowing. Moyue calculates his runs, aiming for at least level 16 before his time is up. His target level is slightly out of reach, but it'll have to do. With a single word, Lin Moyue exits the dungeon. Emerging from the dungeon, Moyue finds himself completely alone. Everyone else has long since departed. Xia Xue hits level 10, only to be stunned by the sight of Lin Moyue soloing the dungeon. Her surprise quickly hardens into a fierce new resolve. Just 45 minutes later, Moyue has not only recovered, but also expanded his undead army to a staggering 72 skeleton warriors. With his preparations complete, Lin Moyue channels his power. It's time to awaken his true might. With a casual apology to the fallen Goblin King, Moyue collects his bounty, a bronze rank bow and a hefty experience boost. 12 hours later, a familiar figure returns to the dungeon entrance, a triumphant grin in his voice. Again and again, Moyue clears the dungeon, his grin widening with each run. The only thing slowing him down is the system's cooldown. Just as Xia Xue tries to rush back into the dungeon, Lin Moyue appears, blocking her path. She emerges, exhausted from her run, only to find Moyue already waiting, looking as if he's just been on a leisurely stroll. Level 14? Xia Xue is floored. Her entire party is exhausted just reaching level 11, but he's already 3 levels ahead. She can't comprehend how the level gap has widened so dramatically. Moyue simply reminds her of where they started. Furious, Xia Xue declares him her rival, vowing never to lose to him again, leaving a bewildered Moyue in her wake. He finds her again, dazed and battered from her relentless dungeon runs. The toll of her ambition is clear, but exhaustion won't stop her. She immediately starts shouting for a new party, desperate to close the gap. Her frustration boils over as she yells about the impossible level difference, drawing the attention of other adventurers. Even on the brink of collapse, Xia Xue's competitive spirit burns bright, whispering her vow not to lose. A call goes out. A party needs a mage for the Shihai dungeon. For the level 11 elemental mage, this is the perfect opportunity. Finally taking a break, Xia Xue is utterly spent. Moyue, on the other hand, looks perfectly fine, much to her annoyance. She declares she's done for the day, too exhausted to even lift a finger. Moyue can only look on with concern. She screams her frustration, feeling overshadowed but more determined than ever. Moyue can't help but feel he's created a monster. Desperate, she asks him how to level up faster. His advice is simple: join an elite party for harder dungeons. But at level 12, elite parties won't have her. Undeterred, she resolves to grind her way to level 15 on her own. But Moyue has a question of his own, one that cuts to the heart of her relentless pace. How are you ignoring the dungeon cooldowns? Our hero finds his companion battered and bruised, but his first question isn't about her health. You don't know about it? He asks, hinting at a crucial piece of information she's missed. But the injured girl fires back with a smirk. So you aren't Mr. Know-It-All after all, she teases, clearly enjoying his rare moment of cluelessness. She reveals the source of her knowledge, a special item from her father. His only instruction? Use it all up, and now he gets it. She's holding a cooldown talisman, a rare artifact that can drastically reduce the time between missions, allowing for rapid leveling. The item is incredibly expensive, a fact that weighed heavily on her father. Our hero realizes such a treasure is far beyond his reach. But the talisman isn't a magic bullet. With a strict 2-day deadline, she's under immense pressure to complete her mission 9 more times to hit her goal of level 15. Hearing her desperate plan, our hero falls silent, a thoughtful expression on his face. A new idea is clearly taking root. He then makes an unbelievable offer. He'll power level her to 15 himself. No effort required on her part. She's left utterly speechless. Shaking off her exhaustion, she accepts his offer with renewed determination. But he simply tells her to rest up. The real grind is about to begin. As they recuperate, a system notification appears. The mission has reset. It's time to put his bold promise to the test. They arrive before the mission portal, a skeletal summon at our hero's side. The girl clenches her fists, buzzing with anticipation for the promised power leveling. He activates a device, and a sinister, horned skull appears, pulsing with dark energy. He's not just starting a mission, he's changing the very rules of the game. Her excitement instantly turns to pure terror. Wait, did you just choose the nightmare difficulty? She screams, realizing he's just thrown them into the dungeon's deadliest mode. The system immediately proves her right, spawning an enhanced elite monster far beyond her level. As she panics, our hero is enveloped in a shadowy aura. While she's screaming about his insanity, he remains unnervingly calm. Stay close to me, he says, his confidence completely unfazed by the impossible odds. Her fear quickly turns to self-doubt. She worries he'll look down on her for being scared, unable to handle the pressure. But our hero isn't talking to her. He turns to his own spectral summon and taunts it. "What are you waiting for? Are you scared?" On his command, the spectral army erupts into action, effortlessly slaughtering the elite goblins that had terrified her moments before. He doesn't even pause. He sprints deeper into the mine, his summons clearing the path as she struggles to keep up, wondering what his plan could possibly be. A deafening roar shakes the cavern. Chained in the darkness is the dungeon's true boss, a monstrous white wolf. But our hero isn't here to fight it. He's dragging the corpses of the goblins they just killed, pulling them directly towards the enraged beast. It would be a waste of time to fight the same way as before, he thinks, unleashing his deadliest skill, corpse explosion. The corpse detonates, setting off a massive chain reaction. Her screen floods with notifications. She's gaining ludicrous amounts of experience from kills she didn't even make. The explosions rip through the dungeon, wiping out hordes of monsters in an instant. The sheer destructive power is unbelievable. When the dust settles, the mighty Wolf King is dead, obliterated by the chain reaction. "It's dead already?" she stammers in disbelief. Without a moment's hesitation, he says, "Let's go," and continues deeper. She can only stare after him, realizing he's an absolute monster. She finally catches up, asking in disbelief, "Ever since you reached level 10? He simply confirms her suspicion. That's right. Before she can even process it, they're standing before the final boss. "We're already here?" she yells, stunned by their breakneck pace. But the result is the same. Another massive corpse explosion, and the final boss is instantly vaporized before it can even move. A golden light surrounds him as the mission completes. He's reached level 15. "You've leveled up again?" she cries, as he effortlessly achieved in minutes what would have taken her days of struggle. But as Lin Moyue's power soars, Xia Xue feels the gap between them widening once again, her own progress feeling insignificant in his shadow. After clearing the boss, the rewards appear, but Xia Xue is disappointed. The drop is a powerful sword, not the mage's staff she desperately needs. She knows the best weapon for her level is the Staff of the Goblin King, but she's reluctant to spend her hard-earned money at the trade market. As she weighs her options, Lin Moyue steps forward, ready to offer a solution. He nonchalantly hands over the grimoire of the Goblin King, telling her it's far more useful than any staff. Xia Xue is stunned into silence. She clutches her weapon, realizing with a jolt that he cleared the entire dungeon without even using his own grimoire. Just how powerful is he? Lin Moyue checks his own status. Thanks to the party bonus with Xia Xue, his leveling speed has skyrocketed, putting him at level 15 already. But he's not done yet. He coldly informs the dungeon's regenerating boss that he'll have to kill it 5 more times to complete his hidden objective. Xia Xue is bewildered, asking why he's talking to a monster that can't understand. Lin Moyue simply replies, "It doesn't matter." To him, a boss isn't something to be respected or feared. It's just an obstacle meant to be farmed and killed, over and over again. Watching him meticulously loot the monster's corpse, Xia Xue can't help but smile, fondly calling him a dummy for his strange habits. With their work done for the day, Lin Moyue decides it's time to leave, promising to return tomorrow to continue the grind. Xia Xue readily agrees. He uses a return scroll, and in a flash of blue light, the two of them are teleported out of the dungeon. Back in the real world, Xia Xue calmly hands over a monster core to one of Lin Moyue's powerful summoned skeletons. The skeleton absorbs the core, its power surging as it undergoes a monstrous evolution, its aura flaring with terrifying energy. The shared experience boosts Xia Xue all the way to level 14. Re-energized and full of confidence, she's more determined than ever to catch up to her dummy partner. But Lin Moyue is already on the verge of another breakthrough, nearing level 16. Seeing his incredible potential, Xia Xue proposes a new, ambitious goal. He should aim to become the provincial champion. She explains that the title comes with massive rewards, including points that are crucial for entering the elite Shajing Academy, and maybe even a shot at the legendary Chuangshen Academy. Chuangshen Academy isn't just for elites. It's a place that only accepts the monsters among monsters, the absolute pinnacle of talent in the entire empire. In the history of their city, only one person has ever made it in. With unshakable faith, Xia Xue tells Lin Moyue she believes he can be the second. As they talk, they spot a familiar face, Gao Yan, a level 11 knight. Xia Xue sighs, annoyed that this troublemaker is here. Never one to shy away from confrontation, Lin Moyue decides they should go and say hello. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a guildmaster furiously reprimands a subordinate. A whole team, wiped out by a single person. Are you kidding me? He orders the disgraced warrior, now level 16, to lay low within the guild and wait for the upcoming exams, trying to avoid any more trouble. But the warrior is worried, asking what will happen to his missing teammates, Chao Ji and the others. The guildmaster reveals he's already sent someone to investigate, but issues a grave warning. Whoever caused so many people to vanish is far too dangerous for him to handle. The leader of the Wang Chao Guild seethes with anger, wondering who in the world would dare to cross him, completely unaware that the monster they're hunting is Lin Moyue.